The striking thing about love and will in our day is that, whereas in the past they were always held up to us as the answer to life's predicaments, they have now themselves become the problem. It is always true that love and will become more difficult in a transitional age, and ours is an era of radical transition. The old myths and symbols by which we oriented ourselves are gone. Anxiety is rampant. We cling to each other and try to persuade ourselves that what we feel is love. We do not will because we are afraid that if we choose one thing or one person, we'll lose the other, and we are too insecure to take that chance. The bottom then drops out of the conjunctive emotions and processes, of which love and will are the two foremost examples. The individual is forced to turn inward. He becomes obsessed with the new form of the problem of identity, namely, even if I know who I am, I have no significance. I am unable to influence others. The next step is apathy, and the step following that is violence. For no human being can stand the perpetually numbing experience of his own powerlessness. So great was the emphasis on love as the resolution to life's predicament that people's self-esteem ascended or fell depending on whether or not they had achieved it. Those who believed they had found it indulged in self-righteousness, confident in their visible proof of salvation, as the Calvinist's wealth used to be tangible evidence of his being numbered among the elect. Those who failed to find it felt not simply bereft to a greater or lesser extent, but on a deeper and more damaging inner level, their self-esteem was undermined. They felt marked as a new species of pariah, and would confess in psychotherapy that they awoke in the small hours of the morning not necessarily especially lonely or unhappy, but plagued with the gnawing conviction that they had somehow missed the great secret of life. And all the while, with rising divorce rates, the increasing banalization of love in literature and art, and the fact that sex, for many people, has become more meaningless as it is more available, this love has seemed tremendously elusive, if not an outright illusion. Some members of the new political left came to the conclusion that love is destroyed by the very nature of our bourgeois society, and the reforms they proposed had the specific purpose of making a world in which love is more possible. In such a contradictory situation, the sexual form of love, lowest common denominator on the ladder of salvation, understandably became our preoccupation. For sex, as rooted in man's inescapable biology, seems always dependable to give at least a facsimile of love. But sex, too, has become Western man's test and burden more than his salvation. The books which roll off the presses on technique in love and sex, while still bestsellers for a few weeks, have a hollow ring.